saying that. You always got to know what's coming next.
Wait, let me tell you this. I
Go
met
ahead.
JayZ. I met JayZ and Dame. Meek, Memphis Bleak, Benny Siegel. All them niggas was rude as shit, okay? All of them. You know who the most humble person was? Do you know who took time out their day to talk to me? Do you know who sat and listened to me spit a verse and told me to call him, gave me his number? Do you know who was the only person that made me feel like a human being and who really took time out to talk to me out of all them niggas? JayZ. JayZ. So when people say, so when people want to talk about him, you got to look at the facts. Them niggas was cocky, loud, all that. And I met all of them. The only person that was respectful to me was JayZ. I would never admit that.
Yeah. And Jay, you know, and you think about with Nipsey. When Nipsey came out with the Crenshaw mixtape, who bought 100 copies just to show he supported that man hustle? JayZ.
JayZ. A person can say nothing bad about JayZ to me. Yeah. A person can say nothing bad about JayZ to me. Because you got to look at that. This is why this man is over here with his family, chilling with his family. Dang, you still talking about it. You still, because you hurt. But you got to look at the role you played. He wanted to elevate. He wasn't going to be stagnant because of you.
But, you know, but what you said and seeing were there, you know, SK, because I remember, hey, King, you remember that video from 2000, you know, where Dane says, "The Rock, you bastards," and, you know, you just see Jay.
And JayZ was sitting there and he was looking up. That's when, he knew right then and there. He like, oh, yeah, it's over. I'm leaving.
He's like, look, that caption, about says all. The moment Jay knew he was done with them niggas.
Yes.
But I mean, Jay saw something. Jay knew that whatever the situation was, and we know a little bit about it, you know, from what was told. We're never going to know the whole story because only Jay and Dane really know everything with it. But Jay saw a situation where ultimately getting that presidency with Def Jam, you know, it was an opportunity, and it was a fact of, and really, you know, when you look at how the situation from what Jay said about what was going on with Reasonable Doubt, about how all he did was ask Dane for, he wanted that record, you know, in terms of the full masters. And Dane kind of bucked on him about it, you know, and Jay was like, you know, well, you know, the album didn't sell a lot, you know, so it's not a lot of money, but it's like, that was my baby, you know, and that's all I wanted. And there's a point in business that, you know, there should be no business that gets that acrimonious that two friends who started something together can't come to some type of an agreement where, and it doesn't get disrespectful, you know. Because at the end of the day, you know, my thing is, what we do together, we started together, and we can work it out together. But it's the moment of separation. It's the moment of separation because we can't talk about and openly communicate something that will cause that. Because the thing is, ultimately, it's a situation you never want to say, fuck that nigga, but by the same token, you look at it from this perspective. It's not fuck that nigga. It's like, I got to do what's best, and I'm going to be all right regardless. It's no hate, but I got to elevate.
Right.
You know,
now, from my understanding, what's his name? Briggs, Kareem? Is that his name?
Biggs, Kareem Biggs. Yes,
Biggs, yeah. Biggs and JayZ is still cool. So why is Biggs cool and Dame isn't?
Well, disclaimer. This is T-Max just giving his personal opinion. This opinion does not represent all the views of Off the Cuff Radio. Nah, but for real, Biggs has always been a very, very quiet guy. You know, there were the three. When you know the history of The Rock, it was Biggs, Dame, and Jay. Biggs has always been the silent partner, as they would say it. You never hear about Biggs Only time you really heard about Biggs was when he did that bid for that weed growing. And, of course, he's been out a few years now. I think he did like 4 years for that, for having illegal plants before it got legal. But Biggs has always been the quiet dude. You never saw him being flashy, even though he had just as much money as they did because he was a shareholder in the Rock. You never saw him really get out there talking, doing crazy things. He was a guy who understood sometimes anonymity or even public anonymity is your best identity. Dame, we've seen Dame cut up. And depending on who you talk to with Dame, a lot of people say Dame is he can be difficult. A lot of people say he's an asshole. Some people will say he's an asshole because he fights for his artists. And we've seen Dame, fight for his artists. We've seen that. Like with the situation, you remember back in the day when they had a reality show when Old Dirty Bastard got out and basically he was, and they were negotiating a deal and Dame was saying, I'm only paying dirty because RZA was trying to get some money out of that too. And Dame was saying, I'm only paying dirty. Yeah. This is when it was like an old dirty special. Yeah. So Dame was saying, I'm only paying dirty. But Dame also has shown at times that he can be overly abrasive. And when you're dealing in business, especially with certain people of influence, and yes, power, there's nothing wrong with standing 10 toes down, being firm in what you believe. But then there's also a situation, you got to know the art of diplomacy. And, me and King, we joke about it off the air a lot. You can't keep kicking people in the nuts all the time thinking that they're going to be okay with it. you can't do that. You just can't.
Especially the arrogant shit he was doing, like that, all that, I only wear one T-shirt once and I throw it away, all that shit.